And question is, are we just, has the Jindal administration made a decision that we are proceeding down with a brand new LSU hospital? Or is there any talk of, hey, wait, let's revisit this and see if we want to do it another way? That's the question.
The Jindal administration has said that we support the new hospital. Okay. That was a decision that was made by the prior administration. We are not going to undo that decision. I will say, that said, if there's an analysis that shows it's more expensive to build a new hospital than to replace an existing one, I still think that data should be out there so everybody knows what they're getting. I mean, everybody needs, I think it's only fair that everybody understand that.
Okay, so but at this point right now, we're building a new hospital, and the question is, and did I miss that part, how big and when?
I believe scope, yes.
You told me a year.
I'm sorry, Senator.
No, that's okay. I think Senator Murray tried to bring me up to speed that you said a year, but
I think you have to have the second part of your question was, you know, what's going on. I think Dr. Cerise and I have been engaged in some dialogue. I think we're going to be going through the business plan together. I actually, in fact, I just told him this morning, my plan would be if he wants to retain the people that have already done the first business plan and go back and do some rework on it, and yet I'll go out and hire somebody to come back behind them and do some vetting of the business plan. I'm happy to do it that way. And we can use, and Commissioner Davis has made it clear she'll free up some of the funds that they have to help with that process. So the money's there, you've appropriated it, so it's okay to use. I think all of us would agree to use it for planning purposes to make sure we have a good business plan. The business plan drives everything. It drives the size, it drives the scope of services.
That process is going to take about a year to finish this business plan?
I would hope that process takes 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll know where we're at, and then we can say, all right, we're ready to go forward.
So maybe by the summer, we'll have a business plan, and at that point...
Hopefully before we leave.
I'm not going to give anybody false timelines, Senator, so I don't want to say by this date it'll be done. You can certainly tell us to expect that.
Not hold you to it.
Yeah, I would hope that, yes. I would hope for that. And I think that we're prepared. I'm prepared to dedicate staff and resources.
Well, Dr. Levine, in all due respect, I think it should be your #1 priority as secretary. In all due respect, you mentioned earlier, and we're going to go to Senator Gray next, but we mentioned earlier that you are working with Dr. Cerise. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. With that stated, Dr. Cerise, can you come to the table as well so we could try to get Jack? We can talk to you in a nice tone manner. Senator Gray and Senator Crow. Dr. Cerise, could you fill out one of those cards while you take a deep breath and get ready?
I guess I want to say that some of this conversation concerns me because when first elected in 2004, you know, I remember very early on going to meetings where I thought it was a foregone conclusion that we had to have a new hospital because in fact the old charity hospital would not meet the accreditation criteria, and so that if we wanted to continue to have the teaching hospitals, we had to have a new hospital. Am I incorrect about that in 2004, before the storm?
Right, there were a series of studies done before Katrina that concluded that the hospital...
Give us your name.
Sorry, Fred Cerise with LSU. That's correct, Senator. There were a series of studies done before Katrina that concluded that the best option to maintain accreditation, maintain services is a replacement. So when there were plans being developed at that time for replacement.
Right, and so I guess what concerns me is I appreciate that there may be 2 issues. There is the future hospital, and then there's a question about what do we do in the interim, and whether or not the old charity building can provide services today through whenever that new hospital is built. That's one issue, and I guess I just want to be clear that we're keeping them separate, that we're not now really questioning the need for a new hospital. We may disagree and have to go through some things about the size of that hospital, but certainly we're not at this point questioning a new hospital. And I understand there is a debate. You know, I guess I've seen one report that said maybe charity could be used. I've seen the current building could be used, and I've seen one report that said it couldn't be used. And so there is a debate, I think, about the use of the current charity building in the interim, but we're not confusing that with the need for a new hospital. And we can debate size, but we're not confusing that with the need for a new hospital.
Is that
I believe I've said that.
Okay, all right, I just want to be clear.
Nothing wrong saying it twice.